There are a few reviews of this watch on the interweb, however most reviewers seem to skirt around the topic of how much titanium is in this titanium watch. Is it just the case or is it a buckle too? And what about the back case and the bezel? And by the way, those are not just curiosity questions. For some people it is of a vital importance. So is it a full titanium despite its ridiculously low price? Well, in this video we'll try to find out. Hello and welcome back! This watch is of course not just about the titanium. We have a number of cool features and design decisions on this, at the first glance, quite a straightforward timepiece. And of course we have an original design too, which these days we seem to be getting more and more of. And while, as you probably know, I won't say no to a good homage, having an original design in the collection which looks good, built out of somewhat unusual materials like titanium and has a cool dial is not a bad thing. And taking into account that this watch costs less than most basic entry-level Seiko 5s these days, makes it even more special. But before we talk about the price, a quick disclaimer: Boderry did reach out and offered to send this watch to me for review, which I evidently agreed to, and I don't have to send it back. On my part, I promise to provide a comprehensive review of this watch, and as with all my other reviews, I try to stay as unbiased as possible, and Boderry had no input nor reviewed this video prior to its release. And of course, all the links to the product listings will be in the description of this video. Do check them out if you are after a sharp deal. So yes, price. Normally set at around $140 to $150, this watch can be quite often found discounted all the way down to $115. So it does help to keep an eye on this item and watch out for any upcoming or ongoing sales. In regards to design, as I mentioned earlier, we do have an original design here. Unlike some of the other products like Voyager or Storm models that I reviewed in the past, this one is quite conservative, at least as far as the case shape goes, and is possibly best described as a skin diver. However, while Boderry were a bit restrained with the case, they did let their creativity go a bit more wild when they designed the dial. And I really like what they did with this hexagonal honeycomb pattern. It is also loomed, so it is a bit of a party trick, and we'll take a closer look at that shortly. And of course, this SeaTurtle is offered in a number of cool colorways and also in bronze. I particularly like this bronze variation. I think it is quite unusual and subtle at the same time. We have a very versatile set of dimensions here. Bezel diameter is 40.5mm, case height is 12mm, lug-to-lug distance 47.7mm and lug width of 20mm. And measuring the weight, we get 82 grams, about 30 or 40% lighter than if it was built from stainless steel. I especially like the case height of 12mm. For comparison, the new Tudor BB58 GMT that was just released, that everyone seemed to be raving about how unusually thin it is, so it has case thickness of 12.8mm. Yes, almost 1mm thicker than this Boderry. And Boderry used Japanese Seiko NH35 movement here, very popular, reliable and dependable caliber, which beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour and has about 41 hours of power reserve. So we have titanium all around. The case, crown, bezel and even the back case all crafted from titanium. Boderry confirmed this fact, and while I lack the means of actually personally verifying it, I have no reason to doubt their word. The use of titanium for the back case is particularly noteworthy. Known for its hypoallergenic properties, titanium is often considered even superior to 316L stainless steel. For those with metal allergies, this choice is a welcome relief. I recall a friend who could only wear titanium jewelry due to sensitivity to other precious metals, including gold. Looking at finishing and design, the case features a satin brushing all around, exuding a refined look. The transitions between the facets are crisp and well-defined. The side screw-down crown with its gear-like grip adds both functionality and comfort. The gently sloped lugs and comparatively flat screw-on back case ensure a snug and comfortable fit on the wrist. Flip the watch over and you will find an engraved SeaTurtle on the titanium back case, a subtle nod to the watch aquatic inspiration. and Boderry conservatively declared 100 meters of water resistance. With a screw-down crown and screw-on back case, I would definitely feel confident enough to go swimming while wearing this watch. We have perfectly flat sapphire crystal here, it sits ever so slightly proud of the ceramic bezel, there is no mention of any anti-reflective coating on the product listings, so it is safe to assume that none is applied. Nevertheless, the legibility of this dial is very good. As you can see, here I am in the bright sun, as bright as it gets here in England, and the dial is fully legible. We have a 120-click ceramic insert unidirectional bezel. The color of the ceramic insert nicely matches the color of the dial. The 60-minute track on the bezel is fully lumed, which looks pretty cool and is a nice feature considering the price point of this watch. I will demonstrate the lume when we look at the dial next. I also really like this gear-shaped bezel grip. It is quite unusual and I think it suits this watch very well. As confirmed by Boderry, the bezel grip is made out of titanium, and it is why we get this cool, very specific to titanium, somewhat grey shade on the high polished facets of the bezel grip, which creates a good contrast with the rest of this brushed titanium case. And this pronounced grip makes the rotation of the bezel quite easy. Now, when it comes to bezel action, it is one of the very few areas where this watch could do with some more refinement. So, the resistance is good and we get a controlled and tactile ratchety sound throughout the rotation, which is also good. However, there is some backplay and the tolerances are definitely not as tight as I'm used to. Okay, to be fair, apparently it is somewhat more challenging to get precise bezel action for titanium bezel on a titanium case, so I guess for the price point this could be considered as an acceptable compromise. And here is how this bezel sounds. As I mentioned earlier, the dial is where Boderry truly unleashed its creativity. I must say I really like the result. Boderry seemed to have aimed for a turtle shell effect with this hexagonal pattern on the dial background, although to me it resembles more of a honeycomb. We get a well-framed date window that sits at 3 o'clock position, the printed logo and brand name adorn the top of the dial, and below the pinion we find 3 lines of text, including the model name of this watch in red. Printed minute markers encircle the perimeter, while applied hour indices mark the hours. The hour indices between 6, 9, 12 and 3 o'clock also follow the hexagonal shape of the dial pattern. And even the lollipop second hand is not actually a lollipop, but a little hexagon. Aerostyle, minute and hour hands add to the watch aesthetics. The hands are multifaceted, not only enhancing the premium look, but also improving dial legibility by reflecting light from various angles. And as I promised, here is the lume shot. Everything lights up, including the bezel and the hexagonal pattern on the dial. And while it is an interesting party trick, it doesn't actually do much to enhance dial legibility. Fortunately, the dial background lume doesn't last that long, allowing for hands to become clearer over time. So overall, while it may not win any lume competitions, considering the price point, the lume performance is quite decent. And we get this FKM rubber strap. It tapers down to about 17 mm by the buckle. The buckle, as confirmed by Boderry representative, is made out of titanium, which is great. The strap looks really good, it is well color coordinated with the dial, it is very comfortable, and we also get a quick release here, so we can swap this 20 mm strap in seconds without any tools. So what's my verdict? Well, we get a full titanium construction, very practical skin diver with sapphire crystal and ceramic bezel insert, which will help for this timepiece to stay looking great for a long time. We also get here a reliable Seiko movement to ensure that while looking good, it keeps good time too. Bezel action might not be the best, but at the price point, it is definitely not a deal breaker. Not for me at least. What are your thoughts? Well, do let us know in the comments. And for more Boderry titanium watches, do check my playlist. I'll put the link on the screen somewhere around here. And of course, if you find this review helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next video.